All right. Welcome. Eric and Linda live show from Workvine 209, located in Tracy, California. I'm Eric.
And I'm Linda. Welcome to our show. It is windy, Tracy, actually, today. It's like blowing like crazy. But welcome to our show. Every Tuesdays we come on at 6 p.m. and we go over different things like real estate investment or investments and entrepreneurship. So today we have a special guest. I can't wait to have her on the show. Eric's going to introduce her a little bit later. But first, I want to introduce the numbers up game. So the numbers up game is you pick a number between 1 and 50. Try not to go over the number that I pick, and or you pick the same number and you could be a winner of actually it's $10, but since nobody won last week, right?
Yeah.
Then it's $20. This
$20.
$20 Amazon gift card. So
yeah.
I'll announce that later. To put in your numbers 1 through 50. You must be present to win, and then we'll ask. We'll tell the win to give the number, and then we'll let the person know who won, and just DM us your information, and we can either text it to you or email it to you.
Yeah, I would say put your numbers in now. Can they start putting the numbers in now?
Okay, if you can go through the
it'll be a little bit more work, but it's okay.
Okay, you could do the
work.
But
you got to be present. Remember, you can put your numbers in now, but we're not going to be giving away the prize until the end of the show.
Yes. So that's the numbers up game. And so that's it.
Yeah, so that's the number up. And so just a reminder for those who may be the first time viewers, the purpose of our show is really to add value to you, to add value to our guests. Our goal is working with entrepreneurs and working with investments. And what does that mean? People who start up businesses, people who have different types of business, could be in many different categories, but really to educate you as a viewer and also, help you or motivate you to get in business, because a lot of times we have people that we know, they come and they ask, how do you get started? How do you start a business? What's the first step? Do I get a business license? And so we bring people on to add value. And then when we talk about investments, we're bringing in different people who can help fund your business, people who are in real estate investments, people who are doing cryptocurrency, stock markets, retirements. So a wide variety of things.
Yes, but it's so crazy because we've been doing these live shows in our pivot since, this whole COVID thing. We had to pivot and we started these live shows, and we've been almost doing it for a year now, huh?
Yeah, it's been a year.
But we got something special, a little spice to our new 2021 Workvine Live Eric and Linda show. We brought on Shell T, and so she made this happen for us, and we hope that you come back for more and watch our shows and learn. I learn on every show that we do.
Yeah. And check out the commercials, because that's who does them. Shell T. If you need a commercial, you want to be part of the show, come and holler at us. We got nice packages that we'll share. Hopefully we'll be able to share some pricing today, but we have packages where we can create your commercial, where you can create your own commercial, bring it to us, and we'll show it and we'll put it on our social media pages as well. Yeah. So it's some pretty cool stuff.
It is.
I feel like, Regis and Kathy Lee, but this is Eric and Linda.
That's really old, Eric.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Whatever that is, but
Ryan
you know what I mean.
Seacrest, maybe.
Yeah. It's all good.
So, anyways,
hey, I want to share a story with you. I was reading on Facebook. It really inspired me and made me think about, how important life and family is. It's a friend of mine, and I'm not sure how the relation is, but a friend of mine, I think it's his son or something, his wife or spouse, had an accident and had been in a coma state for about 8 months. And, they would go and see her in the hospital, and she wasn't responding. And they gave him a call and said, we're going to put her on hospice. And so at that time, he was like, hospice, like a lot of people think that, hospice, that's just like the end. I mean, there are some times where people graduate from hospice, but the Lord spoke to him and said, you need to go see your wife. And so he jumped in his car and he's like, I got to go see her because, they're going to put her in hospice. So he's driving and he's praying and he's like, Lord, is this the end of life for her? I need to see her. Give me a sign to tell me that this isn't it. And so in what he was saying, or as I was reading, he said he's seen something that said, ask Jesus. I think that's what it is.
It was a bench.
Yeah, it was a bench, and he's seen it. And so he went to the hospital, and he said his routine thing was to grab his wife's hand and rub her hand and say, hi, babe. And so he went and he sat down and he rubbed her hand and he said, hi, babe, to her. And this was right before they were taking her off to hospice. And she responded and she said, hi, babe. And he said he got so excited and he started calling the nurses in. And he was like, God has answered my prayers. And then the nurse went and she said, I got to call the doctor. Called the doctor. And she was screaming on the phone like, doctor, you got to come now because this is a miracle. And so it definitely was a miracle. And God heard his prayers and answered his prayers. And now his wife is talking a little bit. She's moving a little bit. And that is a miracle. And so, one of the reasons I say this is not to take life for granted. Sometimes we get angry or we get mad at family or friends and, we try to hold it in. I'm not talking to them. Life is very important and we don't know if tomorrow is promised to us. So, for those of you who may be holding some grudges or going through something, it's time to forgive and it's time to let God take control and take that next step, take that leap of faith in whatever that challenge may be in your life, because there's going to be times where you may be in this situation and maybe you might not get that chance to say goodbye again. And so I know it's a long story, but I thought maybe it'll encourage somebody today. But it's a great outcome because the Lord heard his prayer and blessed him. And so coming up next, we're going to be bringing our guest, Ebere. All right. I'm going to get that right before the end of the show. She's going to be coming up next. And so we'll see you in just a moment.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our guest. But I did want to say from that story, Eric, that what I got out of it is that my God still is a miracle working God, right? He still sits on the throne and he still produces miracles. And that was a miracle, and only God gets the glory on that one. So thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah.
So, Eric, introduce our guest.
Let me make sure I get her name right first. It's Ebere.
Yes.
It is Ebere. Ebere is a business development officer over at Work Solutions. She works in helping businesses get funds. They give counseling. They give you money if you need it. Hopefully, maybe not all the time, but she's going to tell us what they do and how she can help you guys out there with small businesses that are looking for some funds.
Not only that, she's a powerful woman of God. So
yeah,
I'm glad to have her on the show.
Welcome, Ebere.
Ebere.
All right. How you
Hi,
doing?
Sam. I'm good. Good to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you for being part of our show. Sorry for that long story, but it was just really touching to me.
It's a very, I think sometimes we forget that our faith really matters. And when all things, I love how it didn't make sense, but he just followed the prompting of the Holy Spirit. So I definitely, that's a really great story.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about you. Give us a little background. We know that you're a business development officer over at Working Solutions, and you guys help businesses with funding. But tell us a little bit about how you got started in that.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much for having me on here and the opportunity to share. I mean, it's always a pleasure and a privilege to be able to do that. But I started with my journey in the entrepreneurship space. Started, I would say, about 2016. Personally, for me, my husband had started a journey of entrepreneurship 2 to 3 years prior to that. Actually, yeah, 3 years, 2013. And we set off essentially trying to establish a media organization. And one of the things that we kind of started off with was online radio. And for the first 3 years, he essentially did all the work I was telling you guys behind the scene. Like I thought he was crazy, and I thought my job was to kind of talk some sense into him because it just didn't make any sense. Like where, he's in the finance space and I'm in the science space by training. Yeah. So being in the media space was just completely new. And so it was something that but I just kind of watched him just follow God's prompting and just kind of taking one step at a time. I mean, if there's someone who moves in radical faith, Deji, my husband's name is Deji, is someone that for sure, like he will believe God for anything. If the Lord says it, he's gonna believe it all the way. Wow. And so I kind of was, supportive and way behind the scene, not even really in the scene at all for the first 3 years. And then I got the prompting from the Lord to kind of transition into Truth FM and start doing Truth FM daily activities and the operations. And that was kind of like my introduction into like real what it means to run a business, to, get operations running, to set processes in place. You don't just show up when you feel good. You show up on the good days and not the, the days where you feel like you're a total failure kind of thing, when those voices try to come in and speak in. And so from 2016, I was privileged to be hands-on on just helping grow Truth FM and establishing different shows, different outreaches. And in the process as well, we had a show called Wise Money. And Shelty was telling me you guys had Michael Shing here a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Michael is a very good friend of ours. And we started off Wise Money with him. And he actually came up with the name Wise Money. And the whole goal was really to talk about him kind of teaching us and educating us about investing, etc. But talking about finances and then talking about part of what we did, or part of what we do at the station as well, is to interview different people doing different things in the community. So I got a lot of opportunities to kind of dialogue and talk to several small businesses and just really getting a bigger appreciation into just the struggles and the mental tenacity that you need to stay in that space.
You said something right, the struggle, right? And so as an entrepreneur, right, we know, and even for you viewers out there know that there is a struggle, right? I mean, you don't just become an entrepreneur and just all of a sudden got everything figured out. There's some ups, there's some downs, there's some mistakes that you made.
And I could really relate with a lot that you said, because sometimes I have to tell Eric, like, slow down a minute. Like you're out of the box right now. I had to bring him back. Like he's out there, and I'm like, come back, Eric, come back. We got to talk about this. So, and then, coming into work and putting on that face, even though you feel like you feel beat up, or you feel
Yeah.
like, man, I just can't do it another day. But then you can't show that really in the workspace, especially when you're an entrepreneur, because you have to just keep on persevering. And so or even like, because we work together, and sometimes I got to change my hat from wife to
To boss.
to boss.
Yeah.
and so maybe I may be upset, or even at home I have to take my business hat off and put on my wife apron and cook up some dinner or whatever. But I get it, so I could relate a lot with you.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I think a lot of times, when I was younger, I used to think owning a business, once you have a business card, you're already in. Like you just need a business card and just fling it around and you're legit. But that's like nothing, right? Like really, like if you are in it, and just to encourage someone out there, you're starting up, or you're already been in the game, and you're gonna be accustomed to things like you should be at this level.
Yeah.
You've been running your business for X number of years. How come you haven't, look at this other people, look at that other person that started, right? There's always that discouraging voice that comes in to try to tell you what you're not doing right. But one of the things that you're going to need to master in this season and in this walk is to learn to celebrate the things you're doing right. Because I think a lot of times when we ask ourselves, what are you really good at? People pause for a long time because you're not accustomed to thinking about that. We think that the game of self-improvement is constantly just highlighting the areas that we're not that great at. Right. And I think that's one of the biggest lies that we have kind of bought into. And so for me, and having spoken to several, I guess going back to my story and journey with Working Solutions, one of my mentors used to be the CFO of Working Solutions, and they were looking for someone to be a business development officer. And really what I do is I engage with small business owners that are looking for funding. I engage with partners in the Contra Costa and Solano area. Those are my regions. And so that includes like the Small Business Development Center, different banks, different community organizations that are touching the small business community, the chambers, to essentially like just work with them and kind of continue to build solidarity as we serve the small businesses in the region. And so
I want to stop you right there, because this is a good segue, because when we come back from commercial, we're going to really dive into what that looks like, who can apply to those fundings, right? What type of funding you guys offer, and all the details about it, because maybe I need to apply and click the link. All right, we're going to talk about funding with Ebere when we come right back.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Ebere, and she's with Working Solutions. She's the business operations development.
Business development.
There you go. There was something you said earlier too, like that your husband got the tap on the shoulder from God, and when you move, and when God says move, you move, right? When God says you move. So and so
just
that,
like that.
Oh,
it is a song.
When I move, you move,
right?
Something like that.
just like that, Eric. But anyways, let's talk a little bit more about Working Solutions and what you do. Can you give an intro to that and what you're doing right now for other people of color and women of color? I think it says women of color that you your specialty is. So.
Well, yeah, it's people of color, and it's really all businesses, but a specific emphasis on people of color and women in business, and also people from low income backgrounds. And Working Solutions started more than 20 years ago. It's what you call a community development financial institution, CDFIs. You might have heard that term in many other settings. CDFIs came about during the Clinton administration, and this was a time where it became very apparent that the traditional banks, for example, their products and their practices were marginalizing a lot of small businesses and businesses of color, and just a huge section of people that just were not being served at all, due to a lot of like the rules and regulations and the strict requirements, et cetera, et cetera. And so there was a call to action essentially to close that gap, to close the gap in the access to capital and the access to just wealth. And so CDFIs came from that, and different CDFIs do different things, but Working Solutions specifically provides small business financing, and also provides, like counseling, or what you call consulting, to businesses that receive loans from Working Solutions. So if you call Working Solutions now, for example, and you're just, in the general public. Well, so let me finish first, because if you call Working Solutions now, just as a general public, you would not like get a consultant from Working Solutions, only if you are a client. So after you get accepted, after you get approved for a loan, for example. And the reason for that, one of the beautiful thing about that model is the gap is not just in capital. The gaps that we see in low income communities and communities of color, women in business, for example, is not just about the capital, but it's also about access to mentorship and technical assistance for, okay, now that you have the money, for example, how do you actually then build a very well-rounded business? And so we do that we have advisors on the team that essentially provide mentorship and consulting to our clients. If they need help with different aspects of their businesses, we can link them with different advisors that can help them, depending on what their needs are. And so we provide anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000. So we're a micro lender. Okay. And you have to be within the Bay Area counties. There are 9 counties in the Bay Area. So currently, right now, the services, our Working Solution services are limited to Bay Area businesses only. If you're outside of the Bay Area, there are other organizations that provide similar types of services that would serve your area as well. And you have to be more than 18. And we don't look at FICO score. So that's the other thing. It's that, a lot of times people get no's and get doors shut in their faces a lot because of maybe credit mistakes that they made years ago. We don't think that it should be an impediment for someone who wants to start their business today, for example. And so we removed the FICO score, requirement, just so then that's one more barrier that's out the door. Yeah. But we do look at is credit history, right? So we do want to make sure that, that someone getting a loan from us has a good credit behavior. And so we're looking at your recent credit, history to say, okay, are you in the habit of just opening accounts and not paying it? Or people sometimes go through life. Life happens. And if you have a red flag, something in your credit, like I know people whose family members used their stuff and did some crazy things on their credit, right? And we don't let those things stop our clients. And so we still encourage people to apply and write a letter of explanation to explain what happened. For example, and so it's stuff like that, and then also depending on how much loan, for whatever amount of loan that you get, we want to make sure that you're able to make the monthly payments. Yeah. And so what we want to look for, some people when they come to us, maybe they're startups. We're one of the very few that provide funding to startups in the Bay Area.
So-
Even right now, go ahead.
No, and I had a question. So, like for a startup, do you have to like show a certain amount of revenue, or do you so how does that work? So, let's say someone's watching our show right now and they have this concept or this business idea, and they say, "Oh, you know what, man, I can now get started because I have a little bit of capital, and maybe they don't need a whole bunch, but they may need 20,000 to kind of get themselves going and get their website, business license, and all that." So that's something that you guys help with directly.
Yeah, that's something we help with directly if they're located in the Bay Area. But what we do typically, we encourage people to partner up with the Small Business Development Center. Each county has a specified small business development center that works with them, because for startups, we want to see a business plan, and we're not looking for like a laborious 100-page business plan. The interesting thing too is if you're not interested in reading your business plan, we're not interested in reading your business plan.
Yeah.
It's like people think it's just about the formalities. No, like if we can't get past the first page of your business plan, then you probably need to try again, kind of thing. So the executive plan, the first page where you essentially kind of lay down the basics and the key takeaways of how your business is going to run, etc. Looking at the market, especially now with COVID, right? You want to make sure that you're looking at your market and looking at how things, and if COVID is affecting your industry, and if it is, how are you pivoting? What are you doing different, etc. And so, but we are still accepting applications from startups. A lot of the different lenders are not doing that at the moment because of the economic uncertainty, but we believe that in times of economic turmoil like this, you also have lots of new opportunities for great new ideas that also come up, right? Yes. And so we don't want to withhold people the opportunity to start something great, to start up a new opportunity in this climate. But we will, our underwriting team does a great job of definitely kind of looking through your application and walking through it to see. And the other beautiful thing as well. Sorry, are we out of time?
No, we're good. I have another question though for you. So would you guys, and maybe we can answer this question when we come back, but as someone wants to start a business, and they don't know how to even start a business plan, is that something that you guys can help with? And we'll answer that right after this commercial break.
Yes, but before we go to commercial break, put in your numbers for the numbers game.
Yeah,
because
numbers up.
Yes, it's time for the numbers game.
Numbers up. Is it coming? When is it coming?
It just put in your numbers.
It's coming up. It's coming up. Oh, be online. Remember, that car may be coming one day. That car. We already got some donations. All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
All the way up, turn it all the way up to the max. All the way up, turn it all the way up to the max. All the way up, turn it all the way up to the max. All the way up, turn it all the way up. They're telling the brother calm down, and fit a square with a round hole. Cause every time that I come around, I turn it as loud as it go. Sipping the rock, pink collide, or give me the lime. Ready or not, give me a sign if you want me to stop. Giving it to you a cappella, the music will drop. One at a time, singing a rhyme on the drop of a dime. It's got time to shine, baby. I'ma break it down until it's liquid. Turn up, stir it up, call it biscuit. Hold up, I'm turned to the max. So loud, I got a deaf mute in the back. I'm not gonna do what it does. The first time that you watch the names on the track. All the way up, turn it all the way.
Turn it all the way up.
Oh gosh.
I just kidding, man. I love that commercial, man.
You know, these commercials put me in a good mood. It does. It puts me in a good mood. But welcome back. We're interviewing Ebere with Working Solutions, and she's going to answer the question that Eric was so excited to ask before we went on commercial break. So I'm going to let him ask that question again. Go ahead.
I don't remember the question.
I remember the question.
Yeah, I know. She's trying to put me on the spot.
No, you were essentially asking if someone was starting a business and they needed a business plan. If they don't know what to do, are we going to be able to help them, right? Yeah. And the answer is yes and no. Okay, so the yes part is anyone who comes to us, we always navigate. We help them navigate to the resources that they need. So even if it's not something we do directly, so we have lots of people who come in and they want to start a business, they need funding, but they're like, but I don't know what to do. I just know I need funding. Then we connect them to the Small Business Development Center in their region. There's also another, we have several different partners that essentially focus on different things, different aspects of kind of getting your business started. But the SBDC is kind of like, very well-rounded. They have advisors that will help you essentially work on your business plan. Wow. The beautiful thing about it, though, is when you come in, you know how you can't come in with the mindset of, oh, I want to start a business and then just kind of sit back. You have to be willing to show up and do the work, right? I think everyone. This is something everyone knows, but I think a lot of times we also get people who are irritated, for example, that they are required to provide some of the documentations that we ask for, including business plan. And the one thing that people need to realize is coming into the financial space, it's a very structured place. And very detailed, data-driven records, you know, like where you need to, so the business plan and the documentations that are required are not things that can be done without. Like they're necessary in order to move forward. So coming into that space and being mentally prepared to have those ready would definitely be a reward. And one thing we remind people, because again, you have to be willing to do the research. Mm-hmm. If you are starting up a business, depending on what type of business, what's your competition? Who are the people that you're going to be competing with customers for? What are they doing differently? Is your business needed in the area that you're proposing to start it? Because a lot of times we get so excited about our ideas that we're not actually asking. If you're selling what people are not asking for, it's not going to work. Right. You have to find out what your customer base, who they are and what they need, and design your business plan and idea in a way that caters to them, not in a way that caters to you, because you really don't matter in this case. It's
right.
not about you. I mean, you matter. No. Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to solve a problem, right? And right. That's usually what, you know, most businesses start off. But I heard that on Just Another Monday with Michelle T. She's like, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. And that is putting in the work. Some people like want to think that, oh, I have this great idea and then have people do it for them. But you know, it doesn't work that way. The formula, it doesn't compute. It doesn't, you know, you have to put in the work.
And talking about Just Another Monday, in his image barbershop is a business that was funded by Working Solutions. And boy, did they, and have they always put in the work, right? In terms of having the business plan ready, knowing the location that you want, and starting the talks with the landlord about, you know, what the contract or the lease would look like. And we do have someone in-house that actually would help look over contracts for lease, just to make sure like our clients are not being, you know, someone's not like, that everything is fair, right? And works in your best interest. And so, but there's nothing as refreshing as seeing business owners who are just eager to see their businesses succeed, not just in words, but in action. And so I think working with businesses like in his image barbershop was just, it's one of the many numerous, clients and businesses that we've had the privilege of working with and seeing how they've navigated COVID and pivoted is just, it's another blessing and just super refreshing. But yeah, so that's definitely
Speaking of COVID, how has COVID-19 pandemic the access to the business funding? How has it affected the business funding?
right. So one of the things that a lot of businesses in general, I think I was mentioning this earlier, a lot of lenders are, one thing that people don't realize is the lending world in general was not designed to bear your risk for you completely. Like I have an uncle that used to say, banks just want to give you money when you don't need the money. Just when you need the money, it's almost like they don't want to give you the money, but that's traditional lending for you, right? But nonetheless, in this COVID season, what we've seen is a lot of lenders just pausing and rethinking their lending. Some funders have actually even stopped lending to new businesses, and they're just trying to help their existing businesses within their portfolio survive and thrive. And some are just strictly lending like government-backed funds, for example, because again, if you are in such a volatile time, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and so that's a lot of risks that a lot of lenders are not kind of willing to get into. But at Working Solutions, we continue to lend. We continue to look through applications. Does it mean that we're just giving everyone money? Absolutely not. Some of the things that we're looking at, for example, if you're in the restaurant or gym fitness industry, we are recommending for businesses to kind of get a model assessment to be completed by the SBDC. And that's just essentially, we're looking at your plan and trying to see, okay, what have you baked into this plan to survive another COVID or even the same pandemic that we're into currently? So a lot of times we're being more careful in the approval, but we're still approving businesses and giving people money to spend responsibly as well in this COVID time. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, we gotta talk more because I got a lot more questions, but our time is so limited.
And if you guys have questions too, I put Ebere's information in the chat. The website is there. There's the Facebook. It's in the chat. I mean, this is really great. If you're looking at wanting to start a business, first of all, go get that business plan started, right? Don't just think that you have this idea. I got this great idea in my mind and I can go just get paid off of it. You got to put in the work. Wow. Right. Any last words before we get ready to wrap up that you would like to give to maybe startup companies or businesses that are maybe struggling just a little bit and needs that extra little funds to kind of support them through this challenge?
Yeah, so I think for any businesses that are out there, again, Working Solutions doesn't only cater to startups. We cater to a lot of existing businesses, many of whom have really witnessed and experienced the challenges that, due to COVID. And one thing I definitely will encourage you to do is to never give up, number one, to never throw in the towel. I know it's hard, it's difficult, but also knowing when it's a good time to throw in the towel. I think a good business plan has a good exit plan so that you're not constantly like just going in a direction that keeps digging you deeper into a hole kind of thing. But for those of you that are, staying on and you don't lose the best practices that to be true in terms of running your business, like make sure you keep your business account business and separate from your personal account. Make sure you are documenting your processes. Make sure, a lot of times we're so busy just running the business that we're not kind of zooming out to actually plan the business. Give your business a chance to really succeed, and you have to kind of lift up your head and think through and brainstorm. If you need someone to brainstorm with, you have your small business development center that's available, but incorporating those good practices, those good business practices, get a bookkeeper, or or start working on it yourself. There are apps that are available that can at least help you kind of walk through the basics where you're keeping tabs, but run your business well, because that's going to set you up in a way where you are positioned to have access to funding, whether it be loans, whether it be grants, right? A lot of the grants that are even available now are asking for documentations that many businesses don't have, because they haven't mastered the muscle of making these documentations ready as a normal, regular part of running their business. So don't let those good business type habits kind of fall to the cracks in the midst of the pandemic. But you got it. You can do it. You're stronger than you know. And we at Working Solutions, we're rooting for you. And we know that you're going to be stronger on the other side. So hang in there.
Wow. That's really
awesome.
good, man. That's motivating me. I want to start another business. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Wow, that was really great. Yes. Really good information.
Thank you so much for being a part of our show. You were so inspirational. And I definitely, Eric, we really got to put our mouth where, really do what we say we're going to do. Come back and talk to the people on our show. And so I definitely am going to write you down, because we do need to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we work with a lot of startups. I don't know if San Joaquin is one of your areas, but Bay Area, probably Alameda, Contra Costa, that area, San Mateo, Santa Clara. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you can connect us with some people over here, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Well,
all right.
Part of our show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
I want to remember.
Oh, yeah.
What is this?
Right the here? Numbers game. Yeah. When we come back.
Oh, when we come back. All right. Thanks. See y'all, Barre. Thank you. All right.
Yes, we love Black Jewel. That he did our photo shoot. Shelty, do you have any shots from our Black Jewel photo shoot? Maybe you could.
Wow.
Thank you, Shelty. That was I hate taking pictures, but he made it so easy. He did.
Yeah, he did. Made me look a little bit younger too. I think I'm gonna do another photo shoot.
By yourself, probably. I don't know. But anyways,
all right. Time for the number up game.
Numbers up game. So here's our little.
Okay. Go let's go. Reel it around. I'm reeling it around today. There is the number. Ooh.
Can you read it?
Yeah.
You have your glasses on. You can read it.
That little ball.
The number is 44.
The number today is 44.
looks like Kimberly.
Boom.
Yes.
Kimberly Greenwell. What's up, Kim? I hope you're still on the line. I hope you can you chat in the box, Kimberly. I just want to make sure everybody's still there because you got to be present to win.
Yes. So Kimberly is another entrepreneur, and she has her own catering.
Yeah, she does.
And
really
she
good food.
like really good food,
Yeah.
like really good food.
Yeah.
And she's, right in our center. So we take advantage of buying her food because it's so good.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, Kimberly. Oh, she's there. What's up, girl? Oh, you just won a $10.
No.
$20
Yes,
Amazon gift card. Bam. What's up, man? Hey, we're gonna get you on the commercial too, so we can advertise some of that good old what's that mac and cheese crab or seafood mac and cheese, some good old lobster. She do it all over there. My God.
Yeah, I gotta limit myself because I'm trying to lose this COVID 20-pound weight, but I can not minimize, but what do you say? Not minimize.
Just eat a little bit.
Yeah, moderation.
Upscale catering. There it is.
Yes.
Right there in Tracy, California. She got food every weekend. Friday, you don't want to cook Friday, Saturday, Sundays? Bam, there it is.
Yep. And so, really, I learned a lot, and I can't wait to call her, separately off the show and, pick her brain on some other things that I have in my mind about, loans and hopefully I could get some help for other people too that are looking to.
I'm gonna open up a business in the Bay Area.
No, he's not. So what else do you want to talk about, Eric? You know what? We didn't even talk about. She has her PhD, so she's not only in the finance. She's also in science. She's also did some media work, and so just a phenomenal woman. Like we didn't even have enough time to talk about all her accomplishments and what she's doing.
Right there, Truth FM.
There you go.
That's Dr. Ebere.
Yes.
She was like, I wear two hats, but I was like, man, if I'm a doctor, I'm a doctor. Call me doctor. You know what I mean? Right. She put in the work. So that's Dr. Ebere. We want to thank her again for all that good information. And for those of you who want to, start that business, for those that are in the Bay Area, you can contact her and she can probably put you in contact with some other people over in, Tracy area or even throughout California for that matter. But a couple of things that she said, is you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
And you can't have excuses, right? And you got to prepare and do a little bit of research. So if you got this business idea, start there, write it down.
Yes.
Start planning, do some research, do your homework, right? You don't want to be a gym next door to a gym. Find out, a little bit more information.
And what most of our guest speakers talk about is they always have in common to say never give up.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Never give up.
Yeah.
But then it's always good to know when to give up. Like, in certain situations, like if that's why you really got to take a look at your business plan and make sure that you're on track and if you can pivot in these COVID times and, But I really wasn't thinking about starting a new business. Maybe it's something that, we're expanding. Maybe we expand to the Bay Area. Who knows? You never know.
It's a good idea.
Working solutions. There it is.
Yeah. So this is really good information. And remember, you guys can always reach out to us if you need some help. We got a lot of resources as well over at WorkMind 209. We're also always looking for people who want to add some value to the show. If you have a business or something that you feel like you want to share, let us know. I know, Kim, you got that great old restaurant. We definitely need to get you some commercials on here because it will blow up. And people are giving, she got some really good food. Gosh, it's
Yes, definitely. I don't know if you have it available to pop up the flyer for the commercials, because that's what we want to start advertising, is not only helping our business but helping your business. It reciprocates. So we want to have you on our commercials. We've been reaching a lot of people too, so it would be beneficial, and it's really affordable. So get with us if you want to have a commercial or have it made by Shell T. Oh gosh, we will also want to say happy birthday. It was, she came on our show on her birthday.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Ebere.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
Shelty, you want to sing happy birthday? Do I want to put you on the spot and sing happy birthday? You're always singing Shelty. Come on, Shelty, you can do it.
Yeah, happy birthday, Ebere.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, that was really great. She came on the show on her birthday.
Yeah. Took the time.
All right, check it out. Check it out. These are our advertising specials. If you want us to post on our social media, $75 a month, live shows, $100 a month, and the combo pack is $150 a month. And these are just like beginning packages. Our numbers, and just to kind of, and then we got a 3-month contract. If you need the actual media created, we can create the media for you. The flyers, we can create the videos, we can do it all.
Yes.
Well, I
say we wouldn't do it all.
Yeah, because we're part of Shell T.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our producer.
Yes.
And Shell T, can you pop up your website, your information, because I know people will want to get in touch with you as well. She does an excellent job working with us. I mean, she's taken us to another level that really helped us grow and expand through our social media. Numbers have increased like 3,000% or something crazy. But I'm just excited that, we had the opportunity, or we have the opportunity to work with her. And so thank you, Shell T.
Yeah, she wears many hats too.
Yeah.
So very talented person, Shell T.
All right. So our shows.
Words that you want to say?
Well, our shows are every Tuesday.
Okay.
6:00. Remember, we talk about investment. We talk about entrepreneurs. And, we really want to add value to our viewers, to the people out there. Something you can share. Maybe soon we can get some young entrepreneurs, some like really young ones, because I've been seeing that a lot of young kids have been at home working on different ideas and strategies and businesses of their own. And so, hopefully we can get some of these really young kids on to share their stories and how they got started, to inspire younger generations to even want to become entrepreneurs and business owners as well. Because it's not always about us as adults. I mean, when we get adult, it's almost too late, man. It's like, I got to work and take care of the kids. I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
Are you, define kids? Like, how old? Like, are you talking about?
I've seen like kids that are like 12, 13 years old that are starting businesses. There's a one group, I think they're doing like recycling plastic, and they're making bracelets out of them and something, and they're saving the whales, something. I don't know. There's a lot of them out there.
He said saving the whales.
Yeah, I've seen it.
No, but maybe they are. I don't know.
Yeah. But so get some of those young entrepreneurs on there.
Yeah.
All right. Remember, get started. Never give up. You've heard it week after week after week. Never give up. Whatever it takes, you got to go out and get it.
Yes. And thank you again, Ebere, for being on our show. Hopefully this was helpful to some of you out there. And next week is a special guest again, and he's Duncan Burns. You spoke with him once.
Duncan Burns. He created the Veggie Bowl. I mean, great idea. I think, he'll come on the show. For those of you who have inventions, want to learn how to get patents and how to get it designed and all that, he'll come on and show it. And his idea is great. It's also keeps things fresh and keeps you healthy. So, great.
Yeah, we need to eat more vegetables too. Sometimes you do.
Yeah, I don't even eat rice no more. Try out that cauliflower rice. Man, that stuff is like bomb. You can even fry it and make like fried rice out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I hated cauliflower as a kid.
You did.
Hated it.
You did.
Never ate it.
That's why I never cooked it. But then I came home with that frozen package of cauliflower and put some butter on it with some garlic. Anyways.
That was bomb. Try it out.
Back for our show.
Get healthy.
Next Tuesday,
Next Tuesday.
6 p.m. with our guest that created the veggie bowl. And we'll see you soon. You guys have a great rest of the evening. It's, it's still light outside, so we can still, have time to go do something right now, right?
Sure. Yeah. Let's go do it.
Yeah.
Peace out. See you next week.